Pilot Malt House is set out to produce the highest quality, locally sourced malt for the craft brewing and distilling industries. Beer and spirits don't start at the bar, they start in the soil. Through craft agriculture, we're telling the stories of the people, places, and purpose behind making great beer and great spirits.
I am Chad Doan. I'm one of the co-founders, head brewer of Pigeon Hill Brewing Company in Muskegon, Michigan.
My name is Chris Andrus. I'm the co-owner of the Mitten Brewing Company.
I think Michigan's got an amazing beer scene, and it's not just like places like us. It's the Pilot Malt House. It's the hop fields. It's the farmers that we give our grain to. You know what I mean? It's the jobs we create local. So I think it's more than just us serving beer. It extends out into all of Michigan.
We've seen the Mitten and Pigeon Hill both go from extremely small beginnings, and now they're expanding beyond, I'm sure, their wildest dreams when they first began.
The remarkable thing about the Michigan beer industry is that you can be sitting in a room drinking with the person who sold the malt, who grew the malt, who grew and processed the hops, who brewed the beer. That's not seen on a national level.
It's completely awesome to see a beer with your malt up on the board at a local brewery, and they're proud to display it, and we're more than proud to see that up there.
I think now that we're on the map nationally as a destination for craft culture, beer, distilling, etc., the next frontier is making sure that growth does not outpace quality control. And I think that's the next frontier. That's what I'm excited to see. And that's what motivates me to get up and come in every day, is how can we make what we do better.
No matter what we make, we wanted to make just good, clean beers. The industry right now is getting flooded with breweries, and it's very hard to be unique. You know, there's some guys throwing out some really crazy stuff.
We are really pursuing classic styles as opposed to trends in the brewing industry. We certainly have our hoppy IPAs and everything like that, but what drew Max and I to wanting to be brewers and own a brewery was mastery of the classic, clean beer styles that have defined beer and regions of beer throughout the world.
We're pretty simple, and so if we can use just hops or barley that's been crafted specifically for our area or us to make our beer stand out that way, it's to me, that's still beer in its purest form.
What shines in a well-made beer is the process, not necessarily the bits and pieces that go into it. What made the great continental beer styles of the world come to being in the first place was the local quality and varieties of malt. And many famous styles of beer were in fact the only styles that could brew in any given region, because those are the products, the water, and the processes and knowledge they had available. And that's what's interesting about local malt, is it doesn't all have to come from the West Coast. There can be local varieties and differentiation between the two.
I'm excited for the future when I can use almost strictly all Michigan hops, or get enough of them where I can focus on a beer year-round of Michigan hops, and it's got its own characteristic at that point. Visually, I think beer is beautiful. I think a properly poured pint, it's gorgeous. And so it's just, I don't know, it's like in my soul.